This is a perpetual calendar. Sure, my Google Calendar is free and organizes basically my entire life, and this actually costs more to build than if I had just gone out and bought a wall calendar. And you have to manually change this every month, just like the cavemen used to do it. In fact, it doesn't even tell you what month it is. You'll probably have to look at a real calendar to remind you what day it is so that you can even set this thing up. But you know, if you're like me and you really just never leave the house, the months are pretty much irrelevant anyway. So basically what I'm saying is this is a completely useless thing to build and own. Enjoy. I'm gonna use some scrap pieces of cherry for this project. This piece I've already resawed down to about 1/4 inch thick, and these two pieces are gonna be the base. I've already cut them to length. Now I'm gonna cut out a profile around each one on my router. Over here at my table saw, I've tilted my blade to a 15-degree angle, and I'm just gonna cut a shallow kerf in the top of this base. I've had these pieces of glass in my shop for a while. I'm not sure where I got those. I think I picked them up at the dollar store. You can buy picture frames for $1 and then just remove the frame, and you get a nice piece of glass. And this is gonna set in here just like that. So my initial idea was to have 2 pieces of wood for the base to give it more stability, but now that I've cut that one piece and tested it out, it's really stable just like that. There's really no need for me to make this second piece, and I think I like the look of it this way better. I think it's just a lot more elegant. Originally, I wanted to put all of the numbers for the calendar on a piece of wood, but I couldn't really figure out an effective way of doing that. If you have the money for it, you could buy a laser engraver, which would be an ideal solution. I was thinking about using my inkjet transfer on wood, but the numbers wouldn't be as crisp and clear as I would like them to be, especially this tiny. Another solution would be to use a vinyl cutter, which I also don't have, but there's a sign shop in town where I can just bring them a file and they can cut me out all of the letters. They even did all of the weeding, pulling out all the pieces for me. So all I need to do is apply this to the glass, and I could apply this to wood also, but I just thought it would look cool on glass. So it's kind of like a sticker, you know, it has a backing sheet that you can peel off, and then this is the sticky part. I set up the file so that there was a border all the way around that would help me line it up to the size of my glass. I probably should have done this in 2 files because I want to cut off this top part because that's going to go on the little movable slider piece. So you need a burnisher or some kind of a plastic palette knife to press this all down. Now let's see what kind of luck I can have here. I've never applied numbers or letters that are this tiny before, and it looks like some of them are still attached to this backer, so I'll have to put those on separately, but let's see how these did. I'm channeling my inner Chuck McGill here to peel, not pull. Something like that. Right. Okay, let me see if I can transfer some of these missing letters. Okay, I guess that worked out pretty well. One of the things I was thinking about doing was putting the letters, reversing the letters or the numbers and putting them on the back side of the glass. But as it turns out, those white letters are kind of gray on the back side, so I decided to have them cut them normally and put them on the front. But once they're applied, they hold on there really well, and I think it'll work out okay. Now I just need to take my thin piece of wood and cut out the little slider. I cut out a little test window out of a piece of paper just to make sure that this is going to be the right size, and it looks fine. Now I just need to transfer this measurement over to the piece of wood and cut out the hole. But before I cut out that hole, I want to cut off a couple of small strips to make a cleat. Well, I'll see what kind of luck I have cutting this hole out using my jigsaw. First I'll make an entry point. Now I can glue this cleat into place. Instead of using these cut-off pieces with the grain going in the same direction, I decided to cut new cleats with the grain going the opposite direction, just to give this piece some more stability, because all of that kind of short grain going that direction is kind of weak. So these pieces going this direction will just give it a little bit more stability and keep this window piece flat. I'll go ahead and lacquer up these wooden pieces now before I apply that final vinyl. Hey, while I'm applying this last bit of vinyl, I wanted to remind you that if you are just now thinking about getting into woodworking, I'd like to save you some money with my free guide to setting up shop for under $1,000. You can head over to mytoollist.com or click on the link in the description to download it. If you enjoyed this project, please give this video a like, and if you didn't enjoy it, well, hey, thanks for watching anyway.